Ozempic, fat loss without doing anything. Semaglutide, causing a shortage in a much needed type 2 diabetes drug.
You're gonna have to excuse the voices, because that's what it sounds like in my head. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our latest and greatest conversation where we will be slamming right through the hype train that is Ozempic. It's been rolling throughout the world, and I think we need to talk about it a little bit here. So, Ozempic is the brand name, Semaglutide is the component's name. Now, this little bad boy has caused some controversy, and there is a reason why. Now, semaglutide is from a family of fun little peptides called GLP-1. Now, in simple terms, GLP-1 is an appetite suppressant. But if you're like me and enjoy complexity, then you can lose weight without causing a shortage in a type 2 diabetes drug. GLP-1 is a product of a gene that is expressed in the pancreas, in the intestine, and in neurons of the brain. It has actions that produce effects on the gastrointestinal tract and direct mechanisms that regulate appetite. It can also inhibit food intake regardless of the presence of food. Now, essentially what I'm trying to say is that GLP-1 can stop you from eating food through connections between the intestine and the brain. Ozempic must be given through a titration method, meaning that the prescribing doctor must be able to follow the timings, the dosages, and changes, whether good or bad. Now, routine checkups must be conducted to assess whether there are any changes or no changes at all. That is your doctor's decision. There is this strange phenomena where whenever a new weight loss drug, supplement, or anything of that nature comes out, people just assume that, I'll take it or inject it and I'm gonna lose weight. Well, buddy, I'm sorry, that's not how this works. And if it does work by doing that, meaning that you can just take that supplement or whatever and lose weight by doing nothing, you should definitely not use it. I don't even need to explain why you shouldn't use it. It's right there. Now, in this case, you do need to add proper nutrition and exercise to maximize the effects that this drug can actually exert. Semaglutide was designed to have a longer half-life, meaning injecting just once a week is enough in almost all cases. Semaglutide needs to be refrigerated and in a lot of places in the world is expensive. Putting the logistics aside here, let's talk about what I think is important, the side effects. Now, side effects of GLP-1 can range from mild to severe distension, depending on the dose, nausea that will lessen actually throughout your course of using it. Then we have vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, a whole class of hypoglycemic symptoms. Wow, pretty intense stuff. But I don't think that's the most important part. Now, the most important part is thyroid cancer and muscle loss. Now, getting thyroid cancer from Ozempic or semaglutide or anything of that nature is actually really, really hard, but we need to always keep that in mind. Now, I think what we should also keep in mind in the forefront of what we think is important here is muscle loss. So why is muscle loss important here as a side effect? Well, a lot of the research papers that are approved by the FDA will measure a patient's weight loss as total body weight. They're not actually going into the details of what that body weight consists of, right? They don't accept, let's say, DEXA scan, which is dual energy X-ray absorptiometry. Now, DEXA scans can measure your body mass, your lean mass, and your bone density. So what does this mean? Now, in a paper, let's say you'll read, patient has lost 30% of body weight. But what if 10% of that body weight was muscle loss? And this is actually recorded. Muscle loss is a serious thing in these type of drugs. Now, the papers you'll read will say things like, X patient lost 30% of their body weight. But what if I told you that 10% of that was muscle loss? Would you still take it? I know you would. Now, I've read a few testimonials of bodybuilders that have actually used these type of drugs but managed to maintain their muscle mass. And they say things like, "Oh, we just kept up the high protein intake and continuous exercise," the usual stuff. But let's assume that the person using Ozempic does not know how to maintain muscle mass, or worse, does not even care, thinking they're losing fat, but in fact losing muscle as well. So what are my final thoughts on the drug? Well, I believe that governments around the world should have heavier restrictions on who can and can't get these drugs. I believe that doctors who are prescribing these should promote conservative methods first, and that includes, lifestyle changes, diet, nutrition, exercise. We've all heard of this since we were born, and before that, the pyramids and, the diets and the exercise. The reason why it's been going on for such a long time is because it's true. Stop trying to take these little routes right and left to get these shortcuts to lose weight. The reality is just get a few thousand steps in a day, lift a few weights here and there, have fun, move around, take care of what you eat. We're going to be jumping into a video in a few weeks where we talk about the gut microbiome, and I'm sure you're going to want to watch that, because that's when we're going to be jumping into how you can fix your gut microbiome and how to improve your lifestyle. But that's enough for me today. Okay, I hope you do take this a bit seriously. Thank you for watching. I'm happy that destiny brought you here through your Google searches. Subscribe to this channel. Check the description down below if you want to watch anything related to me, or check out the papers related to Ozempic itself. Stay safe, practice health, and say no to obesity.